Feel the gap. Suspension. Lost the bolt. Whole axle shifted. Hoping somebody can help us. The real trick is going to be seeing if they can straighten the axle up. Look at the gap. Look at the gap. Suspension. Lost the bolt. Whole axle shifted. Oh man. We are at a truck stop, so hoping somebody can help us. We just happened to stop at an exit. I can see the trailer kind of dog walking behind it. That's when the rear of the trailer is not in line with the front. It's because the axle shifted and was throwing it back. But we happened to stop at a truck station, a truck repair station. So we're on the side of the road.
No, we're not.
No, thankfully we're
not on the side.
well, we were on the side of the road, but we stopped at an exit that had a truck repair station.
Didn't know that at the time.
And they just happened to be slow today, and these nice guys have been
They're gonna take a look.
they're going to take a look and see if they can't help us out, since they repair these big rigs all the time. Yay.
Saving grace.
Oh, thank you, church lease. Saving us even though you're not with us right now.
Can you reach that?
I do need to do that.
The downside to carrying drugs. They fall back. You can't even see them. There it is.
The real trick is going to be seeing if they can straighten the axle out.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be able to bolt it, but the whole axle shifted. So
I'm hoping.
we'll have to see.
Yeah, the bike covers had water all over them, so I'm hoping I got all that water.
Me too.
Alright, I gotta get everything else back in here. I tried keeping it off the mud.
This is like asphalt. It's weird.
I know, but it's still it's crushing. It's like recycled asphalt, like crushing around.
Everything is very dirty.
Right down.
I turned it down to 0. So yeah, now we're here at this truck stop. So this is actually a good chance to ask you guys if you know what to do when you feel like something is just a little off.
Stop and check.
You stop and check. And going in it was weird because I was changing lanes and looking in my side view mirror, and I could see the tail of the RV more than I usually could. And I was thinking, well, maybe the road is just off a little bit or something like that. But I also, when I started going, I felt like there was like a drag on the rig, like it was heavier than it usually is. Which
is not the case because we were boondocking last night, so
right.
We used fuel, not...
Right, so if anything, it should be a little bit lighter. And yeah, it's just so pull over on the side of the road, check, and missing that bolt. And the axle has shifted forward, so there's no time. So what could have happened if you just keep pushing it is that tire is basically like rubbing against the grain as you're going down the road.
Right, because it's only this much from the front tire.
It's not in alignment with the other, so it's creating friction back there. So it could probably lead to a tire blowout if you're not careful and watching it. But so we just took it easy, and all major and minor repairs, and they happen to have a bay open, so these guys have been nice enough to help us out.
Or they're gonna try.
And we happen to be carrying around a spare set of wet bolts.
Thank you to the church ladies.
Yeah, for the Moride suspension. So probably a good idea to carry around some extra suspension bolts, because that one sheared off. That's the second time we've lost a bolt in the suspension. Actually, third time we've lost a bolt in the suspension in 2 years. Yep. What a day. So they asked me to go ahead and just take the jacks, lift the one side up so that it relieves pressure on the tires. What they're going to do now is try to get that bolt back in. They got to shift that whole axle, so I'm not sure exactly how they're going to do that. They have to shift that whole axle back in place. The hanger, the equalizer is shifted this way too, so they have to kind of get that back, get the pressure off of it so they can align those bolts, and then put a bolt back in, and hopefully that's all that happened. It doesn't appear that we broke any welds or anything like that, but you never know with the added stress that was on there.
Yeah, but we're here till 4:30.
What you think? Our first on the road pickup. Thankfully, it wasn't a tire blown, damaged, or something like that.
Right. It could have been so much worse.
Yep.
And we could have been in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So. Right.
So we're gonna pay up, and then we're gonna pull out and check everything, and then stop down the road and make sure everything looks good.
Yes. So this is called the Interstate 78 Truck Center. They do have a 24-hour tow truck that can help. So if you guys are ever on I-78 and something happens, they're just a phone call away.
Yep. 717-933-5655.
What's the damage?
$1,669.55. Just kidding. $166.95. Not horrible, considering they took us like on the whim, put 2 guys on it, and got it fixed, and Loctite and greased the bolt, the wet bolt, so everything's ready.
Did they happen to check the other side?
Yeah, they checked everything. They checked all the hangers and everything looked good. He said the one could probably be replaced, the whole hanger. There's a little like wear on one side of one. He said probably get that repaired.
Okay, we need to order one.
Yep, but we're ready to go. All right, we are repaired. We're ready to go. Look, huge shout out, thank you to the guys at the shop for taking us in, repairing it, and getting us back on the road in about an hour and a half. You see on your screen right now, this is the before and after, how much further that tire had pushed forward and actually kind of almost wedged itself against the other tire, and that would have been really bad. So the moral of the story is, if you think something is up with your rig, you're the one that drives it all the time, you know what it's supposed to feel like. Take precaution, go check it out. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you really like it, make sure you subscribe. Till the next strange adventure, keep making your own.